Today's topic's going to be Jeffrey Verity Schofield and his natural status, and my 2 cents on that. Some dude called Revival Fitness was talking about him not being natural, and it's not going to be so much drama orientated. I'm just going to use this as an example to then extrapolate a point on natural bodybuilding. So that will be what I'll talk about. But first we'll start with the incline dumbbell press. Oh, fuck. All right, here we go. So the thing I want to talk about today is Jeffrey Verity Schofield and his natural status. So this is one of those guys on YouTube Fitness that I actually watch and respect, and I actually like his content. He's one of these guys where I can watch his content and it's not just the same regurgitated bullshit that I know. I can actually learn something when I watch this guy's videos. Might be arrogant for me to say, but seldom do I watch a YouTuber and go, oh wow, yeah, I didn't know that, or oh wow, I learned something, or oh wow, that's actually real information. Or a lot of times people just have garbage information. They're just straight up misinformed. So this guy has really good information. I really enjoy his content, albeit I don't watch too much of it, but I don't watch much of anyone. So I watch a hell of a lot more of his stuff than I watch anybody else's. So I actually respect this guy, and there was a guy called Revival Fitness, I think, who basically called him out and said he wasn't natural in like an Instagram post, saying he's not natural and that he's, you know, used the success of other naturals to build up his channel. I don't really give a shit about the drama part. This has started the idea in my mind to talk about this. So I don't really care about the drama. I just want to use this as an overall arcing example for natural fitness and how you can never really tell. So I personally think Jeffrey is natural, and there's a few reasons. And we'll first go through what most people think he's not natural, or the people that think he's not natural, the reasoning behind that. The first one, biggest one I've seen, is people say he's big but weak, which I don't really buy that. I don't think he's weak. He might not be as strong as other people. And then the second thing is he has tremendously big arms, which is not necessarily at all a determining factor whether or not someone's natural or not. It can give the illusion that they look unnatural, and I'll get to that in a second. So the first thing is, people say he's big and weak. Well, I haven't seen a hell of a lot of his lifting, but by no means does he look tremendously weak. It's not like he's, you know, benching 2 plates and has this huge chest. It's not like he's only curling 20 kilo barbells and has huge biceps. He's like decently strong. Now, is he as strong as an Alpha Destiny or you know, a different natural who does, you know, partially strength training alongside bodybuilding? No, but that's because he hasn't got the neurological adaptations. He might not have the same genetic capacity for strength as other people. So of course, if you compare him to an Alpha Destiny or by nowadays, he calls himself Alex Leonidas, so that's his name. He's not as strong as Alex Leonidas, but also Alex Leonidas is like 5 foot tall. His leverages are excellent for deadlifts, squats, and bench pressing. So of course, one, he's going to be stronger for that. Two, he trains specifically for the combination of bodybuilding and strength. Back in the day, it was very much what's the powerlifting? It's a conjugate method. I'm so fucking retarded with my words. A West Side barbell method, which is powerlifting, and he would combine bodybuilding with that. So of course, he's going to have more strength when he's doing a far larger degree of neurological adaptated strength work versus just pure hypertrophy, which is much more what Jeffrey does. He trains progressively overloads, but he does not worry about strength so much. So obviously Alpha Destiny is going to be stronger. So that's the first thing is I've seen is big but weak. Strength is what you make of it. If you're not training specifically for strength, you don't have the genetics for strength, you don't have the leverages, of course you're not going to be that strong. There is a big dogmatic idea in the natural world where you have to get elite strength in order to be elite size. I don't buy this for a second. If you don't train with mind-muscle connection in mind, training to failure in mind, which Jeffrey does exceptionally well, he trains to failure on just about everything, you aren't going to get the best results, whether or not you're getting super strong or not. There are plenty of guys out there, naturals specifically, who are skinny as all fuck, but they have 600-pound deadlifts because they train specifically for the deadlift. Of course, if you train with a shit ton of volume and frequency for the big three powerlifting moves, you'll be considered strong. But again, it's neurological strength for one, partially. You know, they are strong, but part of it is they are just getting very honed at one skill. And two, doesn't just because someone is skinny doesn't mean they can't be strong, and vice versa. There's plenty of skinny, strong dudes out there, and there's plenty of weak, big dudes. So there's genetics, there's training in mind. There are a whole host of things as to why Jeffrey isn't, you know, fucking the same strength level as an Alpha Destiny or like a bald Omni-Man who does much more powerlifting technical lifts and focuses a lot more on strength, which doesn't mean that you can't also get big from that either. I mean, those guys are huge. Alpha Destiny has an exceptional physique. Bald Omni-Man, haven't watched a lot of his stuff, but he seems pretty big. So yeah, that's the first thing, is just because he isn't a elite level strength natty doesn't mean that he can't get big. And then the next thing will be arms, which I'll go over after my next exercise. Now, if you're thinking that 10 minutes of talking in between exercises is too much or whatever, I would beg to differ actually. I'm enjoying this process where I talk in between sets. I oftentimes rush into the next exercise too quickly and can't put the same intensity in as if I just took an extra minute or two. So I'm enjoying talking in between the sets to the camera because it forces me to rest longer. And now I'm all ready to go. My cardiovascular system is, you know, leveled out, and I'm not breathing heavy. I'm mentally ready to now go back into another exercise, and I can put far more intensity into it. And that's the reason I started doing high intensity in the first place, was just to save time and energy. But I enjoy talking to the camera, so if it means I have to work out for an extra 20, 30 minutes because I'm doing the talking part, that's fine with me. I'm having fun. Oh, fuck. How much weight's that? That's right. I think I need a WD-40, this makeshift machine. It's feeling even more friction, which if you've watched me use this machine before, I like the friction on it. It allows for a crazy contraction, but I feel like there's too much friction now. I might need to oil this thing up. Oh, fuck. Man, what the fuck? Oh. 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 Yeah, that's a bit too much friction. It didn't feel the way it should have, but that's fine. The peak contraction is what I'm looking for on that thing. Now the next aspect to this is Jeffrey has fucking huge arms. So a lot of times it is difficult for naturals to get massive arms. Sometimes the giveaway to a unnatural physique is unnaturally large arms, traps, and shoulders. These are things that blow up on people that take steroids. Most people are torso dominant versus arm dominant, but that isn't to say that some people don't just have fucking really good arm genetics. If you look at his physique, the rest of his physique, other than his arms, his delts, his traps, his legs, just about everything else is very much in the natural proportion of what you could achieve naturally by all means. But his arms are just freakishly big, but they're also not that big in size. That's another thing is your insertions. Some people just have better insertions. Now, I think Jeffrey has like 18-inch arms, which, I mean, I just don't see that being unnaturally big. A lean 18-inch arm, sure, but like I have 17-inch arms. Am I on steroids? No. But then you look at my arms and think, well, how the fuck are mine 17? How the fuck are his 18 and how is his 17? There's only an inch difference, and yet his arms look fucking 3 inches bigger. Well, it's insertions. He just has incredible insertions. His muscular capacity to bend or to cut light, his arms cut light better than just about everybody else in the natural community, gives him the illusion of this like, you know, set of arms that you can't achieve naturally. So that's another thing is people will cling to one area and go, wow, no, it can't be natural because look at that area. But it's just like, well, look at the rest of his body. He has a great physique by all means, far better than mine, but it's not out of the realm of natural proportions. I mean, you look at Alpha Destiny or, you know, Alex Leonidas, the rest of Alex's physique on the total opposite. You know, Alex has decently big arms. They're like the same size as mine, they're 17. But they don't look anywhere as big or impressive because of the insertions. He has mediocre insertions, much like me. Whereas the rest of his physique is incredible. His back, his chest, his legs, everything else looks far better, or at least a decent degree better than Jeffrey's. And yet you seldom see anyone saying that Alpha Destiny is a fake natural. Part of that is because he's tremendously strong, so they go by the fallacy that strength plus big means you're more likely to be a natural, whereas weaker or weak is more likely to be unnatural. I just don't buy that shit. You got to take into, again, as I said, leverages, style of training. Some people just have better central nervous system efficiency, as evidenced by the twink powerlifter who can deadlift 600 fucking pounds because his arms are 15 inches longer than the rest of the genetic pool around him. The thing is, if you just keep calling everyone a fake natural, and this is not to target to anybody, it's just if you do, then you'll massively limit your own expectations for your own natural physique. If you see a Jeffrey and you're not inspired and you don't give him the benefit of the doubt, then who do you have to look up to? Like Jason Blaha? Do you look at Jason Blaha and go, well, that's my physique. That's what I'm going to go for because that's naturally attainable. I think part of it is limitation. And I mean, the guy who criticized Jeffrey is by no means a mediocre physique. He has a great physique himself, albeit he is smaller than Jeffrey. So, you know, part of this can be jealousy or coping. Like, if you don't have the same genetics or intelligence to train effectively or willpower or the same amount of time, that's a big one. People won't have trained as long as another person and then they'll just cop it out to genetics and steroids. You know, if you've been training for 4 or 5 years, you're not going to look anywhere as good as a Jeffrey who's been training for 8, 9 years with incredible consistency. This dude is very consistent. I've been training for the same amount of time. I don't look remotely the same as him because my training consistency has been absolutely dog shit until very recently. Plus, then genetics, maybe he trains better than me for all I know. So you have to take these into consideration. And that's the overall point I'm trying to make here is give people the benefit of the doubt unless it's, you know, so tremendously obvious they're on steroids. You look at a Micah Hearn and Micah Hearn says, I'm natural. All right, sure. In that case, sure, buddy, sure you're natural. But within the, you know, realm of reality, if someone's teetering on that edge but they're not blatantly over it, then you just have to take the man's word for it. Especially in Jeffrey's case, he's such a cool dude. He's such an honest, you know, you can just tell by his character he's a good person. He's very unlikely to be a fake natural. If you take it from that face value alone. I mean, for all I know, he is a fake natural. But if you're that pessimistic in life or that skeptical, then life's gonna suck. You'll never be able to achieve much if you don't think that the ceiling is, again, shoot for the stars, land on the moon. Back when I was a kid, the whole idea was I'm gonna be as big as Arnold one day naturally. And then somewhere along the line, I'm like, ooh, maybe not so much. But then as a 16-year-old, I made incredible progress compared to my peers because I had this unrealistic expectation in mind. It was depressing when I realized it wasn't possible, but the standard I hit was actually pretty decent.
Oh, fuck. Whew.
So you probably noticed I don't bench press to failure. I'm simply bench pressing because the bench press sucks now that I'm not training with heaps of frequency and volume. So I just do one set of high reps. High reps is the only way I can do bench press without my shoulder giving me mad issues. Close grip's the only way I can do it that remotely hits my pecs. So I don't even train this one to failure. It's just pure neurological adaptations just to keep my bench press somewhat fresh. And I'm not even really training the technique because as you see, I'm doing the last press with my legs out. I'm not doing leg drive or anything. Not even doing enough frequency or volume to really get the technique honed in. It's just neurological adaptations for my ego. It's by no means remotely effective for my pecs compared to a dumbbell variation or a fly variation. Another thing I want to say is, if you want to see real fake naturals, go back in time 10 years. Go back to when I first started lifting as a kid. Back in the days of Matt Ogus and fucking Physiques to Greatness, whatever his name was, with Chris Jones. Scooby was, fucking the dumbest fucking advice imaginable, like skateboard squats and, oh man, just absolute garbage advice from these people who were fake naturals. These are people that didn't need to necessarily know what they were doing because they were enhanced. The Hodge twins, like these people fucking really fucked up a lot of kids' gains back then. Now, it was good. At the same time, there was enough fundamental knowledge to get the gears going and just generally make some gains and have someone to look up to. But the authenticity was absolutely not there. So, and this showed itself in the information. Whereas nowadays you have, Alexander Leonidas, Jeffrey Schofield, I don't know a whole lot of other naturals, to be honest, because they just don't interest me. And these people have great advice. And it shows that they're most likely natural because in order to get big as a natural, you have to know exactly what to do, nutritionally and training-wise. So you have, one, these guys are much smaller than the standards I was trying to achieve, which maybe might not be the best thing, but it gives you a realistic expectation to see what you could have in, say, 5-10 years of proper training. Whereas back in my day, as an old man here, it was fucking shit. So, even if these guys are fake naturals, maybe they're doing like a low dose pinning, because also, these guys, if they are fake naturals, then fuck me, they must have some shit genetics. Because if you're a fake natural and you're not that big, plus they know exactly how to train and eat, like what? Like, what are they doing? Like the smallest dosage of test ever just to boost their muscle mass by 4 or 5 kilos? Like, what would even be the point? I don't see people as intelligent as this being like, you know what, I'm just gonna take enough test or D-bol or whatever steroid you wanna take, just enough to get a little, I guess that makes sense, but I don't know, I just don't see it. I feel like people that take steroids, they get addicted to them and they push it much farther. They're not going to just do a moderate dose. And if they are, then yeah, maybe. But I don't know, man. I just don't see it. These are extreme guys too. These are guys that are very committed. So I feel like if they got on steroids, they wouldn't be normal sized dudes. These would be, you know, Eric Bugenhagen's, where Eric was natural at one point, I believe. But now he's fucking huge because he was a huge natty, knew how to train, knew how to eat, then he took steroids, and now he's fucking massive. So I think it'd be very difficult for them to be even remotely considered natural if they were on steroids.
Oh, fuck. Oh, shit. Fuck. I'm gonna do a rest pause. Oh, fuck. Oh. All right, that's chest done. You know, I'll tell you what, I'm hoping one day, rather than fucking worrying about other people's natural status, hoping one day that I'll be considered the person in question. That's what I'm hoping for. Hopefully one day I'll be big enough, strong enough, whatever the fuck, that people will be like, how the fuck? What? The dude who does one set to failure got big naturally? Dude, it doesn't work for naturals. That doesn't work because you don't have a long enough protein synthesis and you can't get strong enough. I'm hoping that will be like the argument from some fuckhead that's like, you know, you're too big to be natural. I don't think that's gonna happen for a while, if ever, because I don't know if I have the genetics for it. But you know what I do think I have is one of the best training styles in the world in high intensity training. As absolutely dog shit as my genetics are in many aspects, I think high intensity alone will allow me to get that extra level that, you know, other people might not have with volume. So far, I've made a tremendous amount of gains just in like a year and a half, and a year of that, or more than a year of that, was cutting weight. Just through high intensity alone, my strength and muscles went up in a cut. And then in the last, you know, 3-4 months, just from high intensity alone, I built a fuck ton of muscle and strength. And now I'm cutting. I'm honestly confident with high intensity, I'll gain more strength and muscle when everywhere else you see, you can't gain strength and muscle through a cut as a natural. I don't buy that either. I think you can. I'm willing to bet money on it. You will see me gain strength and muscle in the next 2 months of my cut. I guarantee you it. Maybe the last month, not so much, because I'll be in a heavy deficit. But yeah, hopefully that will be the thing. Hopefully one day I'll be considered fake natural. Just ordered some wireless headphones so I'll be able to listen to music while narrating the videos, which make things a lot easier because I train harder with music. So my workout's been suffering a little bit lately from my inability to listen to music. And the days that I don't narrate, and I narrate in post, and I can listen to music, I get a better workout. So just spent $150 on some wireless headphones. Hopefully they're good. And
yeah, hopefully, I think they're noise cancelling, which might be a problem because it'll be like fucking Helen Keller. I'll be like, and today it's piss and vinegar day 133, because I won't be able to fucking hear what I'm saying. So I don't know how that's gonna work. Hopefully it's an option to turn it off and on so I can actually fucking hear what I'm saying, because it's hard to talk when you can't hear what you're saying. Fuck. Oh, fuck. But in short, really, look at someone's physique. Don't be so dazzled by some of the strong points. Give them the benefit of the doubt if it seems conceivable, naturally conceivable. And again, you gotta understand there are freaks out there, dude. Like, there are people who just are better than you physically, and they have way higher fucking testosterone, vastly better muscle insertions, which is the key one. So fucking important, man. Again, you could be the same weight, same height, same muscle density, same body fat percentage, and look so much smaller because your muscle insertions just suck so much more than the guy next to you. I know this perfectly well with myself. I've struggled with this for years. I look at myself and go, man, what is this? Like, I'm the same height, weights, blah, 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 blah as this guy, and yet they look so much better, or they're smaller. Or then maybe they're just a little bigger. I'm like, what the fuck? And it's just, yeah, it's muscle insertions. It's also lighting and, you know, videos. If I put myself out in the sun right now with blaring light compared to how I'm sitting right now in really good lighting, I look like a totally different human being. I look like I don't even fucking lift weights. So, you know, you have Jeffrey taking the best possible videos of himself, best pictures. You have a lot of these natties doing it, and they have to overcompensate even more because they don't have the added benefit of steroids. You get a steroid user like a Sam Sulek or whoever the fuck. I mean, I don't watch a lot of these guys, but I don't know. Just name one. Put them out in the sun or in the shittiest lighting conditions. They still look fucking huge because they're just big. Their muscle insertions are all cosmetically enhanced by testosterone and, you know, increased DHT and less water or more water or whatever the fuck, you know, whatever steroids really do for you. You're going to look a lot better on steroids. So if you get these natties, look for them in the shittiest lighting conditions, in not the best clothing, or not with a pump, or look at their lesser their less genetically inclined muscles, and you'll quickly be like, oh, hold on, this guy is definitely not the same as a Sam Sulek or an Eric Bugenhagen or name a steroid user. So you have to look at it a bit more than face value, more than just, you know, oh, he's weak and strong. Well, why is that? I don't know, weak and big, rather, or he looks so good in these videos. Why is that? Look at it a bit deeper, or just don't. Who gives a fuck, dude? Like, if someone's a fake natural, who gives a shit? If their advice is good, and there's something that the youth can look up to within decent expectations or somewhat realistic expectation, why do you fucking care?
Ooh. All right. Oh. All right. Hey. Oh man, that's fucking heavy. And again, this is no sting or bite at Revival Fitness. I haven't really watched much of the guy's content. I don't know the full context of his post. Maybe it was satire, maybe he wasn't even, fuck, for all I know, he was joking around about Jeffrey being a fake natty. Maybe he knows that he's not or something, I don't know, fuck. So this is not like a drama video or a drama topic. I like Jeffrey, I know nothing about Revival. So I would only be biased, and I don't know the full context, and I don't know anything about Revival. But again, it was just something I saw and thought I'd make a video out of it. The overall topic of fake natural, and in defense of Jeffrey, because I do see a lot of people saying he's fake natural. Oh shit. Maybe I'll do some posing, show off my absolutely dog shit fake natural physique. Trying to hold a bit of face when I pose.